I'm Brandon Roberts. We're at the Pike County Report with Judge Wayne T. Rutherford. And Judge, summertime, always busy, particularly busy this time of the year. We just got finished with RAM, which I know is something near to your heart. It's over with. It was successful again. How do you? You were up there. I was up there. I think it was. I think it went very well.
Brandon, RAM was again a success in 2012. It would not have been a success if it wasn't for the 400 volunteers from the community, from the medical community, and from the community, and I'd have to say from the county employees that many of them volunteer every year to assist in this worthy cause. Was it successful because of volunteers? Yes, but you have to have sponsors. A lot of people don't realize to put on this RAM event, which is free medical, it takes about $20,000. And that money has to be raised from the community and from the people who do business here in eastern Kentucky. Childress Oil Company, I remember they have been one of the leading sponsors. Alpha Natural Resources, they came through this year. They're the company that bought Massey Corporation's mines in Pike County. But for it to be a success, it has to be a community and everybody coming together. And yes, the Pikeville Rotary Club and its membership and its leadership and its board, and it made a difference this year. Would you believe that they provided the food for all the doctors, dentists, optometrists, all of them, and the people who came in, that especially those people with diabetes that had to have their certain meals, and sometimes if they go through the whole process, they're there for a long period of time, and they have to be fed. City of Pikeville, they assisted financially again in assisting for RAM to be possible. UMG, a local company that anytime we have something, UMG is there to support it. That's good for the community. Kellogg's employs over 700 in this area and provides them employment. But when you call on Kellogg's for anything, and Brandon, you remember, they was part of giving the money on the making sure that the Board of Education, Kellogg's, Pike County Physical Court, and the community over on the Senior Citizen Center and the gymnasium that they're building with the Board of Education, constructing at the Kemper School, they're always helping, and they again this year helped. Jack Sykes and Summit Engineering. Summit Engineering just moved into the county, 12 more jobs. Jack Sykes told me the last day or two that they moved 12 engineers in, environmental engineers. This is their environmental section. They're moving out of Virginia into Pike County, and we located them in EQT's temporary headquarters until they got their building built on the South Middle Trail. So he told me that they was going to hire 3 more, so that'll be 15 employees in that facility up on the South Middle Trail. But they assisted. Charity Thrift Store. Can't say enough about Monk Sanders, what Monk does for RAM each year. He takes part of the profits, and he donates and contributes to make sure that RAM is a reality, and the people that falls through the cracks are able to get free medical attention. Or if they're underinsured, I keep saying free medical, but this is for people that's underinsured, especially in the dental and the eyes. Community Trust Bank. Gosh, Mrs. Hale and that board and their employees, the leading bank in Kentucky, the largest Kentucky bank, and if you look at the money that's in the bank, it's $3 billion. What they do for this Commonwealth, they have, I think, over 80 branches in Kentucky and West Virginia and Tennessee now. Pike County government's been part of that. We provided them, I remember, Pike County revenue bonds when they built their headquarters here in Pikeville with a commitment from Berlin Coleman that as long as he lived and had anything to do with community trust, they would keep their headquarters. Imagine one of the largest banks in the Commonwealth of Kentucky, of all the banks, Louisville, Lexington, and all of them, headquartered right here, and they always are there to help, and they helped in regard to RAM again this year. Economy Drug, the Cinnamons, and Mrs. Cinnamon now, since he's passed, continues to help in the community. Glenn Martin Hammond, who law firm that represents people who are in need or who has an injury, a work injury, and he always is and helps projects in the community. Pike County Health Department. We couldn't have this if it wasn't Paul Hopkins and his staff. They're there every year, and you know we have the mobile health unit. It comes over. They won a national award through NACO with the health unit. And Carl Napier and I both serve on that board up to the health department. And what they've done, what RAM has done, people need to understand this. By RAM that we brought in here, caused a dental office to be opened up at the Pike County Health Department. It's now open, and the people can go in. RAM comes once a year, but they can go into the health department and get their dental needs taken care of if they're underinsured or if they have got to have something done. And there's no greater pain than have pain in your teeth or your eyes or so forth. University of Louisville School of Dentistry. When we started, we had to build a partnership. We went to the University of Kentucky and we attempted to build a real large partnership with them. We was unable to do that because of their plan that they had of their dental school. But when we went to Dr. John Salk, the dean of the University of Louisville Dental School in Louisville, he first sat back in his chair, but when he came for a visit, when Dr. Collins, one of his students, a graduate of the University of Louisville, and along when they came up here and met with Dr. Collins, he said, "Yes, we're going to be part of this." And they brought all their students. I'm talking about their junior and seniors in dental school, and they bring them each year. And that's what the money goes for, Brandon, is I'm talking about the RAM committee locally, has to house these people when they come. And that is a job of all this, probably 150 to 75 that we have to pay. We fill our motels up with Pikeville College. We work at the University of Pikeville, Governor Patton and Vice President Hurley, and we use their facilities. And for those 2 days each year, everything's full up that you can get them in. University School of Dentistry is still involved in RAM. They're involved each year, and they have some people that come, and of course we house them. Ohio State University College of Optometry, they send people every year. The national renowned Southern College of Optometry at Memphis, one of your leading optometry schools in America, they send people each year that participate in RAM. And let me say this, when we started, Kentucky had a law that these people could not practice their medicine in Kentucky. It was a tough go of getting RAM off the ground because of the Kentucky revised statutes. We had to go. We finally got the Senator Turner that represents Floyd Letcher, part of Breathitt and Knott County, and he introduced legislation. Co-sponsors was Senator Jones, and then in the House you had our local representatives from Eastern Kentucky that banded together, and they got the law changed so that we could bring these out-of-state doctors in through RAM from these universities and colleges in dental and in general medical. Pikeville Medical Center. Pikeville Medical Center assists each year. We're working with Pikeville Medical Center to get them more involved in their heart program. And hopefully we'll be able to do that. One of the greatest additions we've had in past years is Bill Harris and his crew from their heart center at Pikeville Medical Center. Morehead State University. Morehead has stepped up to the plate, and they send people back in every year from their nursing program. Highlands Regional Medical, and we're glad they're here. They have the Autism Center down there now, and autism is one that touches every facet of people's life in America, and we just had the new statistics from Atlanta. The federal government put out recently that one every 88 child in America has autism, and they need to educate people on autism. We started in this county the first group, organized group, and have a walk each year for the people in my office, Jeannie, Cindy, Stephanie, and Brandon Roberts, and everybody else gets involved. And we have, along with the parents and community, the Autism Walk to help educate people of autism. And reading what I know about it, if you get a child when it's 2 or 3 years old, and you get the right therapy through its parents and through the community and through the medical community, through the school system, then that child can live a full life and be a productive citizen and raise a family like their parents have raised them. Big Sandy Valley Transportation. Brandon, we couldn't have RAM if it wasn't for the buses that's used. As you know, those parking lots at Pike Central is completely full. Yep. This year it worked out very well. Hatcher and Mr. Kaiser, Jimmy Kaiser, and the board decided that they would switch parking areas. It worked out pretty good. They parked. We no longer have you have to use the old soccer field when it rains. You remember the mess they had when it rained. Since they have the new Mullen School adjacent to Pike Central, we use their parking area for people who comes in and volunteers, and the bus brings them over. Then we have the staging area where the patients comes in the night before and stays all night. They give them a number, and then the bus brings them over, and they get in line, and they're processed, and they go through the line. So that is something that Big Sandy Valley Transportation and their board, Carol Napier's on that board. She's my appointee, the physical courts appointee on that board. Pike County Board of Education. Pike County Board of Education is essential to having RAM each year. To let the people know about RAM, we have to have help, and we get it from the East Kentucky Broadcasting. Mr. Caseboat and all the people up there are great. Brandon, you're the one that works with them. You're the ones that you're the media fellow that takes over, and you work with RAM at their office out of Knoxville and their PR people. And with East Kentucky Broadcasting, your local news, Appalachian News Express, Mr. Vanderbeck, their board and their staff, and the Pikeville Medical Leader, of course, Cindy May, and the Pikeville Medical Center, and they help. Brandon, Kentucky Home Place. You know, we started RAM, we said they're here 2 days. Some people get many teeth pulled. Some people, I know I was over there this time, I don't know where you was out front or not, when they come out and they told us they just were doing a procedure on somebody's gums, found cancer. So follow-up has to be done, and who does that? Pike County Health Department, I've mentioned, but Kentucky Home Place has been the one that certainly has been the one that has been the follow-up to find out how these people are doing after RAM has given the original treatment. So Kentucky Home Place, we couldn't have RAM. Now, you remember, since you've been with Pike County government as media, that when the state of Kentucky had the first cutback after Wall Street fell, and the national economy went into a recession and the state economy went into a recession, that when they had the first state cuts, they cut out all the money going to Kentucky Home Place. And you remember what we did. We wrote letters to the governor. We told them what they had been doing for the people follow up with RAM. And we not only did this, but the job that they do in these mountain counties of eastern Kentucky, all the leadership said, Governor, you have to put that money back in the budget. Cut somewhere else. Don't cut and take this service away from these blessed people that needs relief or needs medical attention and they can't get it. And this governor, Beshear, put all the money back in the budget for Kentucky Home Place. Patterson Dentistry. They think, well, they come in and they get all this work done, and they do the testing right over there. Brandon, you're there. You see what they do. And I talked about the cancer. Guess who does that? Patterson Dentistry brings their lab people in. And we couldn't have it, couldn't be successful if it wasn't for Patterson Dentistry. But talking about before Dr. Collins and our relationship with him, when Carl and I started to bring RAM in here, we picked up an ally, and an email ally, that's what I called him because he emailed us to death. When we ran into all these problems with the Kentucky law, where RAM couldn't bring their doctors with them as they came into Kentucky, then we had to go local. Dr. Bentley is the one that coordinated this, and what a job he did. Dr. Collins, and then Dr. Greg Bentley, a classmate, University of Louisville, and graduate. And they're the ones that handles the dental and they handle the dental. And Dr. Regina Compton, she got involved, and she was God sent to RAM. We couldn't have RAM if it wasn't for Regina Compton and people's eyes. And believe me, Brandon, I know a little bit about that, what I've gone through for the last several months with your eyes. But what a job that Regina Regina also is active member Rotary, and I'm sure that Regina needs to be given credit for the fact that they stepped up the plate this year and fed all those people up there, and that wasn't cheap. They raised money through the community, and they spent it for a good cause, and people need to know that. University of Pikeville, UPike, Governor Patton and Mr. Hurley and their board, and Dr. Bruiser, the medical school, but it was who they assigned to us. A fellow who is, I know by being over there at RAM and you too, every time you saw Dr. Lippman, he was on a run. Yeah. Every time you see him, I mean, he's on his way to achieve something for somebody.
He's high energy.
High energy, same as to the committee meetings, that's many committee meetings that's held. So what a great people. 124 people received general medical care at RAM this year. 327 people received eye services, 320 pairs of glasses. And Brandon, as you know, at Pike TV will show you the whole step from the time that you go into vision, the test they give you, till they get their glasses. And the public here can see from Pike TV how this system works and how people are provided glasses. Now, it don't take anything away from these local doctors and their offices, because the people who are taken care of here would never go to their office. You had elderly people that never had glasses that comes in over there because they can't afford the glasses. I'm blessed. I was able to pay $420 for these glasses right here on a discount that I got found these glasses on. But
Judge Carroll said almost, not quite, but almost the vision outdid the dental this year. It was very close.
Very close. 369 people received dental services. It's real close. 915 extractions, 299 fillings, 84 cleaning the teeth. And that's these dental hygienists that volunteer from the different offices that comes in and assist in cleaning teeth. They have 12 specialty dental services. That means that they had some kind of surgery on their gums or something like that. That they went a little further than to just take care of their dental problem.
Well, Judge, we when Pike TV was up there, we spoke to a gentleman, Mr. Branham from the board, and he had an 18-year-old boy there, who was getting his dentures realigned. They were ill-fitting, they were hurting him, he couldn't wear them. Then they saw, I think, a slight increase in people getting their dentures realigned, and they feel like that number would even keep going up if people...
Brandon, if people read and listen to these numbers and they remember last year, they say, well, you're down a little bit. That's not how RAM is graded. We brought RAM in here to solve a problem in Central Appalachia. And to solve a problem means you're going to get less people in the future because you've done the job. It's called preventive medicine. So what RAM is preventive medicine. So we will be getting the data. We will release it to the press in the next few days. Carl Napier will get it. Let me talk about Carl Napier. We could not have RAM if it wasn't for Carl Napier. And you've been over there. She's the quarterback. I've mentioned all these people in these different categories that does their thing. She has the responsibility to coordinate between everybody. And what a job that she does. It's they said that they never had seen a RAM go as smooth as this RAM went. This was the people from Knoxville with RAM. Well, we're getting into this was the 5th year. So each year we have a meeting later and we'll critique what we can improve on next year. But what a great opportunity.
And to Judge, it's funny you say that the numbers being down doesn't reflect that it was anything about its success, because more people this year, there was quite a big increase, got more than one service. They would go from the dental over to the vision and then up to the general medical, and the whole thing is supposed to just coming for the dental.
That's the reason you and I have said it's God sent that Rotary comes, so that these people there that had to go through that total process of, some of them went through the medical, the dental, and the vision, which means they was there for a number of hours. And if they have diabetes or some disease, and they certainly needed to have a refreshing drink of water, or they needed to have a meal, and the Rotary Club took care of that. But to Carl Napier, I'm blessed to have Carl Napier in county government. She cares so much about people, and she does a great job with our senior citizens program for the county also. But our social services department, she's involved in anything that helps people who needs help.
Well, Judge, we'll switch gears here a little bit. It's supposed to be 90 plus degrees today outside, and the chances are our county pools are going to be packed today. So we are actually very fortunate to even have those open this year, and people are so far loving them to death.
You'll see from Pike TV what they're going to show you here today about our pools, how they're being used. And certainly Pike County Physical Court, we've had our problems like the federal government's had state government due to this deep recession that America's in. But the Pike County Physical Court was able this year, due to belt tightening and by operating county government in an efficient manner, that we was able to come up with the money to open the pools this year. We're blessed to be able to do that. The television this morning on all national channels had pictures of swimming pools. Tomorrow, or we go up to the breaks, they'll be opening their water park. People forget about the Breaks Interstate Park a lot of times, but that is a water park. A little bit about their pools besides ours, but their water park up there Right now, the Breaks Interstate Park had 400,000 people per year that visit that park. It has bad access into the park. But that's changed. We have a contract out of $133 million. We have the quarter 460 under construction, with about 50-some percent, 58% completed, and the rest contracts out. Projected to completion maybe 2018, the two large bridges that goes over at Beaver Below Elkhorn City. And then you have access from a new road going into the Breaks Interstate Park, under construction today. On the Virginia side, a Kentucky contracting company, Leonard Lawson's company, which is Bizac, got that bid in Virginia. They're building that structure. The largest bridge in Virginia, and I'm sure that Pike TV can have those and show those two new bridges. Be the largest bridge and the longest bridge in the Commonwealth of Virginia, right across the state line from Pike County. So Breaks is going to change with the water park. Their study shows that they can go up from the 400,000 to about 800,000 within the next few years. And then when you look at their data that they put together and they're projected in the future, once that road's open with the water park, and they're working on getting a 18-hole golf course. They have a golf course close by, and they have a relationship with them now. But you're offering people, tourists, someplace to go and stop and stay, and something for the family to do. That is a great asset to our tourism. Our pools are a great asset to our communities. Elkhorn City they got coal severance tax in the budget. If they don't get their pool open this year, we're sure they'll get it open next year for that season. We have money in our budget, Brandon, to not only for this year to have these pools open, but the people can look forward to those pools being open next year. So you'll see what your cost is. Children under 5 years old, I believe, there's no cost to them. So pool parties, if I remember, was $65 an hour. The manager's names, their numbers, their cell phone numbers will be listed at Pike TV. You can get those numbers, you can call, you can get your pool party set up. This is something for our children. It broke our hearts when we got in this budget situation like all of America, and we had to tighten our belt, but we worked hard, and we cut back on things that didn't cut back on the essential services. Ended up that we had some carryover money, and that we was able to take that carryover money, included in that was opening up our swimming pools at Virgie, over at Freeburn, and of course at Hardy Park. So, a matter of fact, we're continuing to work on those pools. I think you was with the other day when we stopped by. We're still dressing them up a little bit. Yeah. Where they was closed last year and the painting got behind on the buildings, we're sprucing them up, I guess the word you'd say, if somebody out in the county would talk about our pool.
We got the pool open first, and then we're going to do
we're going to do the cosmetic stuff, and going to make sure these pools are clean and sanitary for people to come and to use.
And Zora May, Judge, let's not forget
and
about
Zora
Zora
May, the Pike County Health Department. Let me say that we sometimes pull our hair in our head and all wanting to help people in regard to their needs, in regard to sewer and all in the county. But we got to have our environmental laws. We have to have them. We know that. I have said this. I said this at the hearing the other day, that the most environmentalists I know are people that's around me, even the coal people and the people in this community. What a job that health department did to make sure that when we opened these pools that it could be safe. The training they gave our pool managers, because the chemicals used in a pool is very dangerous. So we needed that training. They also assisted, and of course we have to have the American Red Cross certification for lifeguard. And we wanted that. We wanted our children to be safe at these pools. It is an awesome responsibility that Pike County government has on our shoulders to make sure that the children of this county are safe in this pool and that we don't lose one. And we pray that we never lose one. But we have to make sure that our lifeguard is completely trained, has the certificate that has a competent instructor, and that they are trained when you put them out there to look after our children in the county. And we feel that we have, that we took it, we've had a working relationship with the YMCA. We went back and worked with them, and as they trained their people, they still operate the pool for the city of Pikeville. Our people got the training. That it wasn't cheap, but we put that in the budget this year so that we could have the best trained lifeguards in this county that they have anywhere. It gives summer work to our seniors in high school or people coming home from college this summer. It gave them summer work. We involved the Pike County Board of Education and went through their athletic department through the superintendent, Nancy Casey, and the athletic director at Belfry, and the athletic director at Phelps, and the athletic director at Virgie. And we got people that knew these students, that was on a coaching staff at the schools. They knew these young people, somebody that those young people, we don't want people running and jumping around these pools because they're destined to get hurt and get injured. And we wanted somebody that those young people could respect when they say, oh, stop that, and they know because, Brandon, they have to do it at school.
That's right.
You know, they have to keep them in line at school. So we are open. This 90-degree weather, we're certainly glad to Hillman Dotson of what he did to help get the pool open over there, of his people that work for county government over in that area. What Jeannie Robinson and Judge Hayes did, we got a lot going on in county government, many things. And finally, Judge Hayes and Jeannie Robinson said, let us work and see if we can help get these pools open.
Well, they did work.
And they did work, and Jeannie was the one that was the quarterback finally. And when Jeannie does multiple things, she is never caught up. She's always behind. She's always a little bit dictatorial, but Brandon, she always gets the job done.
That's right.
And the more things she's got going around her, the happier she is. Did you ever notice that? And I know that you and the rest of the staff over there had to put up with me for months with the pain I've had in my eyes. I never feel good. But Jeannie is a ball of fire. You talked about Dr. Lippman. Come over there and sit one day behind Jeannie Robinson with the things laying on her desk. Everything goes to my desk. I work usually 7 days a week. Guess where I put it?
Her desk.
With a memo to her desk to assign to get something done in county government. So Jeannie took over, and I know, and Hillman has said this, that certainly that everybody needs credit, but let's give credit where it goes to get these pools open, and she can get the job done. And you know, a lot of people don't like it as she getting the job done, but in the end, everybody's happy.
Well, she shot for a certain date to get them open, and I think all but one opened on that day.
All but one opened, and
then it opened, I think, the next day.
And we had a problem that we wanted corrected
right.
when it didn't get open, because we wanted the pool to be safe, and we wanted our people completely trained.
Well, Judge, speaking of hard work, and something in the county for people to enjoy, our golf course.
Brandon, a golf course, a government-owned public golf course, is a tool in our economic development toolbox as we try to recruit jobs into this county. And I know, as what's going on in our economy here today, that we need every tool we can get. We need every tool we can get. We need our airport improved so that we can offer commercial air service up there. we need all these tools, but one of the most important tools that we have when we bring them in here, and I took a course at the University of Kentucky in regard to economic development, and I remember the first thing was your educational system, and really up high on the list was your churches, and of course we're in the Bible Belt, and anybody coming here has a great choice of going to a church of their choice. But on that list, not too far down, was something for people to do. And Brandon, what's happened in this county and in this city, that we're able now to bring people in, and they are astounded of what's available to them in this county. There are not many public golf courses that people own. Public golf courses are subsidized where they do have them. Pike County government, even though with this budget situation we have, we've worried about the golf course. We've had people who said, why keep a golf course open when you're cutting people off? I can understand that, because our first obligation is to think about those families and putting food on the table, paying their utility bills, people to be warm and so forth. But to keep a public golf course open, Pike County has a lease on that golf course. It was a 99-year lease. I think we're about 21 or 22 years in on that lease. If the golf course was closed, we'd still have to pay the money out. The most beautiful, picturesque, and you'll agree, you was over there, you was over there. You've been there many times. The most beautiful, picturesque setting for a golf course of anywhere that I've ever been. And we wanted to find some way to keep that golf course open. Jack Sykes, not a fellow more dedicated. Jack Sykes Company, Summit Engineering, has engineered and designed 5 major golf courses, including this one, in Mountain Pub Links. They own a golf course, Summit Company does, over in, I think it's in Virginia, I'm not sure. But they built and they still own a golf course. Jack Sykes, as chairman of that board, and that board has been dedicated to find a way. Jack and I started talking when Wall Street fell. We knew what was going to happen. I said, Jack, we, talking about county government, and you and your board, is going to have to start thinking out of the box. And we're going to have to come up with a way that the county don't have to subsidize. And looking at those figures we got from the treasurer, we have been subsidizing that golf course $200,000 a year for the last 5 years. So I said, we got to come up with a way to do it. So what Jack did, we was blessed again. Jim Patton, pastor of the Free Will Baptist Church over here in Cloyd, Pikeville, a resident over there, an avid golfer, successful businessman, built a business from Paducah to Pikeville, semi-retired, wanted to contribute something back to his community, and he shows up and said, figure out a way legally that I can do a management plan for your golf course so that taxpayers won't have to subsidize it. And we said, put the plan together. Jack Sykes told him, put the plan together. They put the plan together, come and sit down with us. And I said he was God sent. He did a plan. We added to the plan and said, involve University of Pikeville in it. They have a golf team. Mr. Altman is the golf coach. He is the deputy PVA here in the courthouse. You give scholarships to those golfers. You have the women, you have their golf coach, and I think he's on their board, on their golf board.
I think so.
So involved them in it. So they got a hold of Governor Patton and Mr. Hurley. Mr. Hurley and the business manager attended the meeting with us. And they said, what would we need to contribute to make sure you don't have a shortfall? In the next month, the golf board, Mr. Sykes and the board, has informed you and I when we was over the other day. Bob, you hit your ankle on an ATV accident. Bobby had to go, but he informed us over there, and we had talked about this at previous meetings. They're going to change the name of that. They're going to have a new beginning on this golf course over there. This 18-hole golf course, most beautiful golf course in Central Appalachia. They're going to change the name, and here's the reason why. The road is adequate. Part of it has been resurfaced. Then we got that road put back on the 6-year plan, and in the future you're going to have a new road from where you went through the gap, where the construction is completed, and that we rode through. You and I did once about 3 months ago, after when they was completing it. And the new bridge that was not in the 6-year plan, the road wasn't, but the bridge was, the state put the new bridge in. So you have better access coming. Matter of fact, you've had better weather this year. And thank God we haven't had another flood. But over to the golf course, FEMA, the federal government, has been able to assist us in rebuilding back the golf course of these floods that we've had during this almost 22 years on this leased golf course we have over there. They helped build it back. But let me tell you what the name's going to be. One of the problems they have over there after the flood and they get built back is elks coming up, and they're heavy. They weigh 1,000 pounds. Walking on the green. They're going to change the name, Jack Sykes tells me, to Elk Run Golf Course. Pike County Government, Elk Run Golf Course, and give it a new beginning. Announce that University of Pike golf team, that will be their home. But Brandon, that's not all. You went over last year, and you saw the Rutherfords from Belfry that you knew back over the year before last. This year, back over there. Jack said we couldn't have this youth camp. The youth camp was Belfry, Pike Central, Pikeville, Shelby Valley, and even had some students, I think, out of some feeder schools, even one over in West Virginia, and then from Mullins and Johns Creek and Southside. We had some students from there, from those feeder schools, in this golf camp. And I'm impressed every time I go over there and watch these young people. Their age is 6 to 16. And I tell them each year that in America, that decisions that helps this country move forward, the decisions are made mostly not in corporate boardrooms. It's made at dinner tables in some restaurant or on a golf course. So if they get involved in golf during their early years and they pursue that in their life, it will bond them with people and who helps build their communities and helps build their country. And we have the cooperation we brought together the community, the county government, a university, the county school system, and the community and all of these students to train these young people in regard to the game of golf, which is a great game. You don't compete with nobody, you compete against yourself. In golf, you're standing out there by yourself, and you play against yourself each hole. But what an opportunity it is to have a child get that at these very young age. I'm impressed every time I go over there. I'm proud of this tool we have. I know that it's tight money everywhere, but our senator and representatives put money in for a clubhouse over there. That will be a great addition to that facility. And as access in there is approved in future years, It is a great asset. It's a tool in our economic development box that we want, like we do all the other tools that we have, and that Charles Carlton uses when we bring people in here from all over this country, and we've been able to do that, and we're proud to have this public golf course, this county government golf course.
Judge, you and I and Pike TV went to an informational forum about the Pike Scholarship Program that they got going on, the KC4S. The reason I want to mention that is Governor Patton, during that forum, if you watched the show on Pike TV or if you were there, mentions about all the different options available to people who qualify, who qualifies and whatever. It's confusing a little bit. And
let me give the background and see if we can, people, I know you people that watch television, you read the news, you know what happened the last session of the legislature. Governor Patton, myself, and the leadership, our state representatives and our senator and all of the leadership brought to the attention of Kentucky that there was a void missing in the higher educational system in this Commonwealth. That you could take your hand and put in the coal-producing counties. The counties who had supplied the money for Kentucky to be a state it is. And I say that because I'm the father of the coal severance tax. I'm the first fellow that mentioned coal severance tax in the early 70s. And I wanted all the money to come back to the counties for development. But that didn't happen. The state only gave us back 4%. We only get 12% back there of the coal severance tax. But that void existed in this Commonwealth. And Morehead State University and Eastern had not done their job. Statistics bared that out. 28% in the country of bachelor degrees in the United States. Kentucky, 22%. Coal-producing counties in these 9 counties, we looked at that the other day, is 12%. Now, we and the leadership of Eastern, we just want to live like they live in the rest of this Commonwealth. We mine the coal, we produce the natural gas, 53% of it. We're the leading coal-producing county. $355 million. The state legislature and state leaders, and I've said this before, greedy governors and greedy legislators out of the coal fields took our money and took the future of our children and took our coal severance tax money, put it in the state budget. Brandon, this is how it works. They take 100% of the tax, 50% of it goes in the state general fund. Now figure out where it goes to. It goes to the rest of the state, where their economy, where they have an educated workforce, where their people can go to a university down the street or in the same town, and they stay there and they contribute to their community. Up here, what happened to us in the coal fields that provided the money to have a state like Kentucky that we have that keeps these utility bills low so people can live and pay their light bill, as they say, and to have heat, and yet treated the way we've been treated by greedy governors and greedy legislators from outside the coal field. So we had got tired of that. So the statistics bared out that we needed a state university but not a private school. And Governor Patton and that board said we will turn over every building, about $300 million worth of property, buildings, and so forth to the state government. What a deal for the Commonwealth of Kentucky.
I believe they said furniture and all. They're going to turn furniture.
Going to turn everything over to the state. They would have to do that to have a state university, like you said, so that students could afford to get an education, to save $11,000 a year on their education. And we went to battle, led by Governor Patton. And we battled him, but Brandon, we had a governor Bashir, who understood and looked at those statistics and seen that void, and he proposed, and he had the guts to propose a budget to the legislature this last session, the regular session, and he put $10 million, if I remember, in his budget if the legislature would pass the act making University of Pikeville a state university and fill that void, bring these bachelor's degrees up. We looked at Bowling Green, where Western was. We looked at Murray. We looked at Moorhead. We looked at Richmond. And we looked at what their economy had done since we looked at Northern Kentucky. Moorhead let Northern Kentucky down. They had most of those counties up there. They didn't do the job for them. And they took that area away from them and put in Northern Kentucky University. All we wanted was fairness. We fought it in the legislature. We had the support of the governor. We had to support Greg Stumbo, who you see you have observed at the session, who you've observed on Pike TV, who was at the hearing they held, the informational one they had for students here in Pikeville that Pike TV covered, and what an opportunity we have to bring up the bachelor's degree in these 9 counties. Did we get the $10 million from the governor? No, we didn't. We got over $2 million this year and over $2 million next year. But this, and people, they need to understand this. You have some people in the coal counties saying, we got left out. No, you didn't get left out. Your state senator didn't help, and we didn't get the $10 million. So we had to take the $2 million for each year, biennium budget, and we had to put the money, we had to narrow it to 9 counties, because what it's doing, this is called a pilot program. As Speaker Stumbo said, as Governor Patton has said, we have to have the data collected to show that we can generate these students and that we can raise the bar. More students go to college in eastern Kentucky than anywhere else in this Commonwealth. We're even with some of them, but we're right there with them. But they don't get a bachelor's degree. It's these community colleges, and thank God we got them. I told Governor Patton, Governor, you're the one that got this system started. You're the one that put this system in. Now, here's the plan. They're going out from Pikeville College. You don't have to come and live on the campus. You can go out to these community colleges in your community in these 9 counties. The 9 counties are Pike, Floyd, Harlan, Johnson, Knott, Letcher, McGough, and Martin, and of course our Pike County here. But you can go to, this includes your community colleges. You saw Mr. Roberts, who was on the panel with us, talk about the great system they had and the relationship that they're going to bond and build and to bring these bachelor's degrees. You get 2 years. You have to have 60 hours to start your bachelor program. You get that at your community college. But that's, to even get that, they're going to teach those classes. They're going to teach the classes to get a bachelor's degree. It's going to be on a monitor. It's going to be on a monitor. We got one over in our office. They got one at the library. They got one up to college. They got them at the hospital. And they're going to have one professor. If you had 5 students and 10 students at another community college, in the 9 counties, I think there was 12 or 13 locations. You had 2 counties didn't have community college, was with Johnson and Martin. And of course, they'll go to the Board of Education, use one of their schools, and then the monitors will be installed. Then the professors would rotate and do from one school, one class, the next school. They would meet every student. They would have that hands-on personal relationship with the student. Yet they would be teaching from one location. Brandon, they're offering classes of the daytime, the evening, and on weekend. Look, there's no reason why if you want a bachelor's degree, they're not only offered it in 2 years, they'll do it in 4 years for you. Am I correct,
Yes.
Brandon? They'll do it in 4 years. So then let's talk about the cost. You know, with this money that's been infused by the governor using coal severance tax, I'm like Judge Thompson over in Knott County. What better way could coal severance tax be used than not to educate our young people who will I'll be moving on, Judge Thompson will, but they'll be the leadership in running this county. And what we're doing, and Governor Patton has said, what we're doing it's for tomorrow, and leaving a better place, and having these qualified people, and to bring our bachelor's degrees up with the rest of this Commonwealth and fill that void that this state, I've said it and I'll continue to say it, we're the tail that wags the dog. Yet we're the most mineral rich, most progressive county and city that they have in this Commonwealth of Kentucky. And we're not through. You heard Leslie Combs, you heard Speaker Stumbo, you heard Judge Patton, you've heard Senator Jones, Representative Hall, you've heard all these. Now, the media downstate has absolutely put out the wrong information in regard to this situation. So it's sad that we have to carry our fight ourselves, but that's how it is. And we're going to continue that battle in Frankfort until our legislature. And we want to do it while this governor's there. He is committed to signing the legislation to put a state university at Pike College. It will be a reality. But until we get that, we have got to take this funding that's available to us through coal severance tax, educate these young people, give them a bachelor's degree, give them a hand up, not a handout, and start building for tomorrow, and stop this brain drain where a young person goes away and gets an education and never comes back and contributed. They love these mountains. They love the mountain. Pat and I sat at Elkhorn City at the Collaborative Theater the other day before it started to a couple who moved to Pikeville, Kentucky a few years ago and went to work for a local company. The local company went out of business or cut back, and they're from Iowa, if I remember, and they decided we're going to go back home. They put their house on the market. They loaded their children up. They went back to Iowa, a place they loved, Arkansas. I'm sorry I said Iowa. They went back to Arkansas. And he said they was in a motel, and their kids was there with them. They looked at each other and said, what in the world are we doing? We got the best place to live in the world, Pike County, Kentucky, Pikeville. And here we are talking about leaving and coming back here because we do love here. But they came back to Pikeville, took their home off the market, and their residents here, they're happy, participating in the community, enjoying the Collaborative Theater production like we was at Elkhorn. But that's what we have to do. We have to educate our people here. And Governor Patton is committed. Governor Patton is not leaving. The local press, I know that it's hard sometimes to write a headline. I realize that. But when you read the headline, you thought Governor Patton moved on. He's leaving the college. No. Folks, Governor Patton is going to be at the college. He's chancellor. He is going up a step. But he has been a mentor to James Hurley. And when that announcement came out, I had even some of my friends saying, that young fella, he can't do that job. I've told them all, I've got news for you. That fella can do that job. James Hurley is going to make a great president of the University of Pikeville. His mentor, Paul Patton, he's been right there with him. He's been well trained. He's on the board up the Y, and so am I. We haven't seen him much since he went up to college. We saw him every meeting when he was an elementary school principal and other places for years. We don't see him much because he's been on the road. He's traveled this country. He knows the latest in technology. He knows that what the college has to do. But it gives Governor Patton, when they asked him to take this position, when Dr. Looney resigned, and Dr. Looney hadn't been here for a short time, and Dr. Smith had left, he said, "I'll take it, but in July of 2013, I'll take it till then." Well, that's what he's doing. He's doing just exactly what he said he would do. And look what Governor Patton's done. Known as Kentucky's education governor throughout this country. We travel and we talk to people from all over America. And when they get to talking about Kentucky's educational system, they talk about Paul Patton. And they do that because of the governor's conference, which he was the chairman of the educational part of that. And what he did what he did in the community college system, that he took a vocational school system. That's what we had, and we're glad to have it, and it's still part of it. But he took it and molded it into the total state higher educational system, and everybody said it won't work. You're taking UK out of it. They had opposition from the big cities areas, and Paul Patton just said, "I'm going to do what's right, even though it's not popular." Well, he was right. And even today, those people who opposed that system today support the system that Governor Patton brought. He had to fight the whole bunch to get it done, and had the leadership ability to get it through the legislature.
On behalf of Judge Wayne T. Rutherford, I'm Brandon Roberts. Thanks for watching the Pike County Report.